So if you don't want to listen to me ramble on for 10 minutes, this is quickly how it's built. Pipe thread adapter, threads tapped from both sides. So there's enough thread left over there to screw in your pressure input fitting, whatever you decide to use. Gives a nice tapered neck down power jet that's going to go into the center of the vacuum chamber and discharge close to the beginning of your discharge chamber. Of course, if you want, this is a recreatable system. If you want a perfect system, you can go for another video. There's lots of videos of people 3D printing these things, but this is quickly reproducible in a hardware store with no welder and no major tools except for that pipe thread tap. A power jet for moving concentrates around a gold room. I want to take it out of a duplex jig. The concentrates from a duplex jig, lift them about 5 feet or 1.5, 2 meters, and send them into the next system, which will be a screening system, dewatering, and down into the shaker table feeding system all in one. So that's the requirement. It needs to lift at 5 feet. It needs to suck the material out of heavy. There's a lot of water coming out of the duplex jig, so I can dredge underwater unlimited. So I'm using a Powerjet system as opposed to a Dredge tip nozzle system. So this is the Powerjet. So this is how I designed the Powerjet. It's a 1-inch National Pipe Thread T, and inside the Powerjet is made with a 3/8 hose barb fitting to 3/4-inch National Pipe Thread fitting. This is the pressure pump water input side, and the hose barb Powerjet is threaded backwards into this fitting here. You need a 3/4-inch National Pipe Thread tapered thread tap, and you're going to tap the inside of this fitting so that it has threads. These 3/4-inch threads are not only from this side like normal, but they're also coming from the other side. And so that's going to take your pressure water, it's going to neck it down to 3/8 of an inch, and it's going to be, so there's going to be a high pressure 3/8 of an inch jet of water blasting into the center of this discharge tube. That power jet is going to stick out to about there, which is just perfect. It's going to go into the discharge tube, and it's going to create Venturi in this T fitting. And you have to make sure that all your vacuum side fittings are well sealed. To do a pressure test of this system to make sure that it's well sealed, you're just going to take a pipe thread cap off, and you're just going to cap off your discharge, turn on your pump, and then you're just going to check for any little leaks in the system. This doesn't have a hose clamp on it because it was so tight to get that on there. It just was almost impossible to get it on, and it just doesn't need a clamp. There's no leaks. I pressure tested it. And once you know you don't have any leaks here, you just need to introduce water to the system. There can't be any air in the system. And you can't take the end of the vacuum suction dredge out of the water. It needs to always be underwater. And once you get the system primed, you'll see that there isn't any air coming out of the discharge, and then you're going to have suction on this line. And as far as I know, this line could be quite long, and you can move your concentrates. We'll have to prime this system, but I just stuck the empty hose full air. Hose is full air right now, and I just got it down in here into my Mount Baker shaker table number 3 bucket, and I know that it's about 1/3 full down there with concentrates, so it's a pretty good demonstration to just be able to move some of those number 3 concentrates out if we wanted to. And so I'll just put in, let's put in maybe a 20 screen and the bucket here, just to See if that works, and then we'll plug in the, go ahead and plug in the pump. All right, so we're not generating any vacuum yet. We have air bubbles and a pretty erratic flow coming out. You can see the air in the stream. That means that we don't have any vacuum generating yet. So I'm gonna try to prime the system. I'll just lift up the hose. I can feel a bit of water in this hose. I'll lift it up here. Just see if I can get it to prime or do something. That didn't work. Try it all the way from the end. There we go. So it's just a matter of introducing some water into that end. You can see how the flow immediately changed. And we've developed suction over here. So let's just have a go here. We'll do some dredging. And it's dredging like a lot. We're losing water fast here. So I'm just sucking as fast as I can these concentrates. See how much I can move. And just give a test to the system. See if it gets clogged or anything. Alright, I've moved a bunch of concentrates, sucked air there. So the system's going to kind of stop working. It's going to go back to that aerated jet. So this is going to be a system that's only going to work when that container that it's pumping out of has some kind of good supply of water coming into it. Or a recirculated system. So I'll just shut that off. So there's a material that was bigger than a 20 screen. And here to give you an idea how much material I moved in that amount of time. It looks like the majority of the material has gone into the bottom of this stub. It just overflowed. So we've got about 200 cubic milliliters right there, and then we've got another about the same at the bottom of the bucket there. So the system needs some improvement, but the actual concept of the Powerjet does seem to work. Let's fire that back up again, just in its own water. See if we can get it to recirculate some water here. The trick is to keep the ends in the water. Try that. Plug that in. Lift up this tube. There we go. Prime. You know, we have a powerful suction now.